way to do it, and then you test it by bringing new people into it. You can tell how good a game is by bringing like new people into it and seeing how well they adapt to it. You can kind of like tell the different, and MMORPGs or like RPGs in general seem to have this problem. They're like exceedingly hostile to anything that is new skill, like exceedingly hostile to it. Like you can tell, you put fucking like anybody into Diablo and you bring him to the highest difficulties. Like first of all, you have to grind to the certain like level to get to the highest difficulty, and then once you get there, you get those little bitch numbers, not the big numbers, because the gear sucks and because you can't get new gear because you have little bitch numbers that then take ages to farm, and it's like they inundate you with useless fucking gear. Oh, and just to make it more efficient, because I realized that the servers were lagging from all the objects on the ground, they decided, hey, we're just going to make less things drop per boss, which then led to people figuring out that they didn't have to leave the cavern because they adjusted that feature. So basically they solved one problem just to like accommodate for the actual problem that was that the gear drops were ass. So now you wouldn't reset the fucking room, you would stay inside the room and drop these little piece of shit items all over the ground until the screen started fucking glitching. And then you would like reset the room because you're like, please, no, this hurts me, ha. And then you like go out there and you fucking reset the thing. You come back in, you have like a guy already sitting there with a teleport ready to log in there so you can do the thing. You have to run in, fight through all the fucking enemies again. And then you get to the little point. The thing is though, for you it's going to be such a mundane task that you're just breezing through all the enemies like super, super fast because you've already, to get to the boss farming stage, you have to have gear so good. And guess what? Where do you get the gear that's so good? You don't get it from the fucking boss because it never drops anything good. Total, I have spent over like 1,000 hours on this stupid fucking game, multiple seasons, and I've only ever had 2 drops where there was a 4-star item, which is the max rank. Fucking, what the fuck is that? Hundreds of fucking runs per day on a fucking boss, and only like 2 4-star items over the like amount of seasons that have been. What in the actual ever-loving, disrespecting fuck is that? Please, what?
Look at this. Plus 4 to incinerate. Cancel incinerate to deal double damage, bro. Let's go.
Bro, your main claim to fame in Diablo last fucking time we played was literally having a rogue that DDoSed everybody. That was not productive. Like you say, hey, this looks like an interesting build, and then it's just like arrows that look rainbow colored from like raining from the sky onto the enemies. And I was like, dude, this is just like the gayest thing I've ever seen. But I can't say that. I couldn't say that on stream at the time because like Biden was still in power. So I was like, nah, I can't say that shit. But I can't say it now. It's not going to be that much of an issue. But like back then, it was definitely that much of an issue, and I feel like in some ways it still is. But hey, I tried to like not be as hostile until I like saw that shit and I was like, nah, I'm done. Fuck that. I'm gonna play a different thing next season. I played a different thing next season. Say I'm gonna 100% the game, and I think that I 100% the game to such an extent where it was like, yeah, I've had enough. And like I could never. And the worst part is like to challenge Lilith and to get Lilith down, you had to like get lucky with some of the damage. And then there's an unescapable death. Unescapable. Why the fuck would you want this?
That was the only challenging fight in the game. I actually enjoyed learning that one.
I fucking hated it. It was like such a weird thing, and then didn't even drop you anything special. Like if I would have dropped you a fucking item that would have made you unstoppable, like just basically gave you immortality, that's what it would have been worth. But literally there was nothing worth the whole effort other than to say, yeah, I've gone to the campaign and I've challenged the main boss. And it's funny. You have a Wait, did the power just fucking die?
Turn up for a second.
Ah, cock. Sorry, that's another problem. We're gonna have to get the electricity guys here again. Little voice note for anyone who wants to get into solar. Make sure that whatever battery pack you think you're gonna need, get twice as much, especially if you're doing lead acid. And you can do lead acid. Lead acid works. Yeah, because the cycles are great. Like the newly advanced like versions of the fucking lead acid are great. But like this shit is ass. Do you guys still hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's worked. Okay, cool. Because I had to like switch over the internet real quick because everything dead now. Oh, brilliant.
By the way, this was raising his hand for a few minutes or something.
Sorry, say again?
No, Zeus, the other guy in the speaker panel, he was raising his hand for a while.
His fan. He said he was raising his fan.
Hand, sorry.
Does anyone remember the horse armor from Oblivion? The 08?
I've never played Oblivion myself, to be honest.
I've played it, but I wasn't like super into it. But it's a fun game.
Just that horse armor DLC ruined the video game industry, in my opinion.
How is that? Is it why is that?
They made people pay for horse armor.
Yeah, it was super cheap. First microtransaction, and then everything.
Oh, so it was a thing that definitely upgraded your game. Like, was it a thing that gave you an item of power? Like, actually just changed this game, and you couldn't get it without the.
No, it was a paid cosmetic.
World of Warcraft did though. They introduced the Celestial Steed, and that was like the first MTX in the game, and it allowed everybody to fly on low-level characters, which was kind of imba at the time. It was imbalanced. Yeah, for $20 or whatever you paid.
I don't know why they have to like then. You know, it's great if you have a broken feature in a game like that. You should like allow it to just stay so people can abuse it more for money in the future.
Yeah, the Wizard Tower was fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, I don't understand. Like, don't nerf, buff more, nerf less. Always nerf less, buff harder.
I think if you have to pay for the video game, microtransactions for cosmetics are kind of an insult to the player.
Not really. Not really. I think it's I think you can so like this, right? There's some like you have to make the unlockable cosmetics worth the grind. That's the thing. So like say for instance there's a bunch of unlockables. So this is the thing I think it's really bad with like Halo Infinite is that there aren't really that many cool unlockables that you can grind for, except for one in particular. Now I do really respect them for that one. So let's say you want to play like, you know, the game and you want to be Master Chief because you know that's one of the reasons you got in. You got in for it. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to play the game multiplayer. You can do this for free right now. You can play the multiplayer for free. Continue to play it, ages on end, and then you can rank up your career skill in there. And then once you reach the max rank, you get and by the way, this is cool because it's a career path, which means it doesn't reset. You can literally just do this over the course of years if you wanted to. Like say, oh, you don't have the time to like, you know, log on every single day. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's never gonna reset. You're gonna indefinitely fucking progress forward until you get to the very end. And then at the end, you get like you get the Master Chief suit, which is like as customizable as you want it to be. That's really fucking good. Hang on, am I still here? Okay.
Yeah.
So it says the connection is lost, reconnecting. I don't know why it says that. Anyways, but you know that's nice. That's the only unlockable, grindable thing that you can get in Halo Infinite, which is really good. There's some that you can get via the battle passes, but you kind of like have to get like you can get some good stuff. Like there's some effects that they put in now, so you can just grind your way through some stuff, and you can still have a decent suit that you can, you know, have in the game. You just need to grind a bit, and that's it. So I think that if you genuinely put some really good item that you just can't buy into like the game that you have to grind for, that's cool. Like that specific cosmetic, you cannot buy the Master Chief. You can't fucking buy it. You can't fucking buy it. You have to grind for it. That's great. I fucking love that shit. That is really cool.
I think
So they can keep that in the game, and they can have a ton of microtransactions. I dropped a bunch of money on the game already. I probably dropped like, you know, was it, you know, over time I played it for a couple of years now.
It looks like we lost him there.
Yeah, he dropped.
Connection was shoddy. Yeah.
Yeah, rip Adrian.
He's back.
It's not for me.
I mean, back in the listeners.
Oh, I see. A bunch of people are thumbing down because he's no longer in there.
Yeah, I just invited him to speak.
Is the Halo game he's talking about a free game, or do you have to pay for the base game?
Halo Infinite, you can play the multiplayer for free, which includes the mode that we play, which is called Firefights. That's all for free. You can just download it on Steam. But if you want to play the campaign, which is like a lot of fun, you can play that with multiple friends at the same time. You pay like $30 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Where was I stuck at?
Master Chief suit.
Oh yeah, Massachusetts. Yeah, good unlockables. I dropped a lot of money on that game. Even dropped a lot of money on Exile as well. Like I decided to go for the max pack, which is also the only reason why I got the website launcher, because you could only get that over the website. So it's like, fuck that, I'm just gonna get that. And so I got like the $480 like, you know, version of that, which is great. So and I did this not because, you know, I just wanted to show off. I just did that because I heard how the guy was like talking about the economy in the game, and then it was like, you gotta like have the capitalism situation. I was like, take my money right now, because I'm like, any game that says that shit, I just want to pay that forward as much as possible. Like, here you go, you have my money, even if I'm not gonna play the game, you have my money.
So the difference for me with Halo Infinite and Path of Exile is they have a game you can play for free. And so there, I think charging for microtransactions for cosmetics makes a lot more sense. Like, they have to make money somehow, and they're letting people play their game for free. So that's fine.
Actually, but DOE 2 when it launches, it's going to be free to play.
If you pay so we're $60 for a game, and they want you to pay like $5.99 to get a silly cosmetic for your horse, I think that's what's insulting.
What about like a game that's like $20? What about games that are like $20?
I think it changes them a little bit for sure. I still think that Adrian's point about having the unlockable cosmetics that are worthwhile is an important one.
Yeah, exactly. When PoE 2 launches, it's going to be free to play, actually. So
if you want to have like early access, ironically enough, you're doing literal beta testing, you have to pay money. I think it's funny in a sense, but it's also clever. So if you want to be like, you know, you want to have that super cool cosmetic, and you want to be like, you know, have a supporter pack badge next to your shit. Well, there you go, you have a supporter pack. And I'm like, okay, well, I like supporting something that sounds good to play, so I'm like, I'm going to do it. The only thing is, I don't have a computer that I can play this thing on that's actually good enough to like deal with the stuff that I want to do. Like, I have to be able to zoom around with super high frame rates and no computer lag, and doing things that have a lot of objects drop on the ground on graphics that are high, so I can actually enjoy what I'm doing. Because at some point there's like a question you have to ask yourself: are you playing something because it's a thing that's expected of you and it makes you like look good if you stream it, or are you playing it because you actually want to have fun? And when I look at something like Halo, you know, with the computer that I have at the moment, I can play that thing and actually have fun. Like I can sit there and like I'm idling at about, you know, 100, 150 frames, and I'm having fun. You know, and that's why I also decided to like buy the campaign and actually play that, because I was like, you know what, I have never played the campaign. There's some achievements I want to unlock, so I decided to get the campaign and do that as well, because I don't really care about the politics of the company behind that. And actually, as a matter of fact, if you look into how that game was developed, you'll really feel for the struggles that it took to create that game, especially that campaign, because they had like people working on 18-month contracts. They kept cycling them out so they didn't have to like pay them the benefits. It was so fucking retarded. Microsoft ass fucking company. You're giga racist global fucking piece of shit corporation. Fuck you. I don't want to hear anything about your weird inclusivity if you're literally geographically racist. That's like a level of racist that I don't even think I've seen anywhere in the most racist circles of any app or any place on the fucking internet. You are really topping it. Like, I'm sorry, giga racist corporation. I was not familiar with your game of discrimination. You're fucking like literally just cooking everybody for no reason at all. And it's not even regions where you think, oh, these guys are going to create a lot of problems for you. Not even that. That I would understand. Like, if you wanted to limit, you know, some, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you wanted to limit some connections to some countries for some reason, it's like, I can understand that. I really do understand that. But purchase limitations? Huh? Why? I don't know. But they're like very greedy, and they throw a lot of money at everything because they realize that their relevancy is like at an almost end. That's why they have to like keep putting out new types of technology, because otherwise they're going to get cooked. And that's also why Microsoft is OpenAI, because if you know, if they didn't like do an AI bid, the whole thing would go to shit. I mean, look at what they tried to attempt. Remember when Cortana was a thing? You know, you have the Halo IP and everything. You get to say, I have a little voice assistant. We're going to call her Cortana. Ooh, sexy simulated boobs woman is going to like answer your requests. Epic, amazing. It was a huge fucking like thing that everybody was anticipating. Then it came out and it was just like this weird circle in the background there that really didn't do anything. And everybody was like just instantly deflated in their expectations. I definitely met expectations, of course. So that was like a massive thing for Microsoft. I felt that was Yeah, it was very underwhelming in some ways as well. You thought you were going to really lead up to something there, but then it was really just a whole bunch of nothing and a system that didn't really work. And now you have something similar to that. It's called Copilot. And just because you don't hate Windows enough, you don't hate Microsoft enough, they then introduce a bunch of stuff that runs in your task manager, and you have